Hi, you guys. It's Linda G coming to you from Northern California. A little overcast today. I had issues with my ability to use the internet, and my TVs and my San Francisco Giants kept getting cut into. And now they fixed it. They went up the pole yesterday. I guess there was something wrong with the lines and they fixed it. So yay. So I wanted to answer some of your questions. I wanted to give you some stuff that I've been getting. First, may I introduce Joy Hargos, our poet laureate of the United States, a native girl such as me. Poet Warrior, a memoir. It's her new book. I just got it. I'm going to sit down, take a look. See, I have so many books to go through. Wanted to bring that up with Joy. Hi, Joy. And I also wanted to tell you that I was listening, because I listened on and off to the Franklin D Roosevelt, Ken Burns videos he did. I think there were 7 total, 7 episodes, all the way from the beginning with Teddy Roosevelt. Very good, very good. I think you can go on Hulu or whoever. I think I just bought it. I found it so I could buy it. But excellent, excellent. And so today I was listening to number 7, had it in the background. And he sat down to write a speech. He was in Georgia. In fact, I swear to God, next fall I'm getting to Georgia so I can go to that place that he used to take, bring his people up, that he developed in Georgia. Anyway, it's where he felt the most at peace, where he got polio. A lot of people with polio showed up there. He had just won his 4th term as president, longest serving president ever. We weren't quite out of World War II yet. But he wrote something. It was so profound, I had to write it down and I have to share it with you guys. He wrote this, I think an hour before he went through a cerebral hemorrhage. And somebody was doing a portrait of him. They were supposed to have lunch in 15 minutes, and he was writing this. And he wrote these words: "The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. Let us move forward with an act of faith." Sort of like the situation we're in right now. Let us move forward with an act of faith. He had the cerebral hemorrhage, and then he was dead at 3:35, April 12th, 1945. And he was only 63 years old. So I was like, whoa. To me, that was profound. I'll add it to the bottom of this video, but I thought that was, it hit me where we're sitting now. The only limit, he said when he was in his youth, for starting 4 semesters ago, or not semesters, terms ago, that the only thing to fear is fear itself. That was one of his most famous sayings. But he also wanted to know the only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. So I watched Rachel Maddow the other day, and she was talking about somebody she doesn't even like. And this person is a very conservative. And she even said, I don't particularly like him. So why did she on national TV use his words talking about, we're about ready to go into another civil war? Now, let me tell you where my part comes in this, or my guide's part comes in this. Somebody said to me, what civil war? I understand how people are thinking, dear God, when will this change? But I'm going to tell you that it was all doom and gloom. The words she was using, I had to turn it off. And I've never turned off Rachel. I had to turn it off because I couldn't stand to hear all this doom and gloom. That President Trump will definitely run again in 2024, and his minions are around him and they're troopers and they're going to take over. And no, it's not going to happen. Let me tell you why. Because my guides were so specific. And let me tell you, my percentage is pretty good with calling things. Like my friend that works on in the political realm, and with some of the top-notch people, Jackie, she knows who she is. She wrote me and said, you have an 86% correct prophecy on the winners, because she showed me the Senate and she said, you even predicted that that Ossoff and Warnick was going to win. And at that time, people thought, yeah, right. Okay, so let me tell you what's going to happen. Hold on. I want to make sure it comes out beautifully. I had to turn it off because she was a Debbie Downer, and I had to turn it off because she was creating more fear. I think she takes seriousness in her job, but I also feel I don't think it's for money either. I don't think it's so they can get advertising. I think she seriously is afraid of what this person's doing, but I'm going to seriously tell you, he has no power over you. Okay? There's more of us than there are of him. And I honest to God, don't know if he'll make it to 2024. If he does, he's going to lose. And then what happens when he loses again? So yeah, there'll be a turmoil. There's going to be some uprising, but it's not going to be any civil war. It's just not going to happen. That's what I heard. And my guide said, tell everyone, just like when they told me 5 years ago, I was minding my own business in my bedroom, you're going to do a YouTube video. And I said, but why? I don't want to have to brush my hair. And they said, Linda, you will help calm people down. And that's what I'm here to tell you. It's very sad to see some of these clown acts, what they're doing, like that Green and that fight on the car. They just need to ignore her. Ignore her. And this whole Supreme Court thing's about ready to get changed too. So I don't care what they decide. They can say, well, now we decide we don't want anyone to have a right to abortion. That'll get kicked out, trust me. Remember, there was the Supreme Court that said a slave was 3/4 of a person, okay? Slaves did not have rights. There was men that escaped, slaves that escaped to the non-slave arenas and then were sent back because they were actually the property of the slaveholders. It's like that Elder guy, that Larry Elder guy. Well, yeah, you can give, what is it? Apparition, what are they? Well, you can give money to the former slaves' families, but you better give it to the slave owners because that was legal in those days. And you took their private property and it was legal. And the Supreme Court did the stamp of approval on it, okay? So the Supreme Court is not all that. In fact, their ratings are plummeting, okay? So no. The guy in Texas, Abbott, plummeting. The guy in Florida, plummeting. There's so many things we're going to see start happening. I know I've promised you justice will be served. I never saw Trump going to jail. I'm going to have to repeat that till I'm blue in the face. I never saw him going to jail. But I do want you to know that this too shall pass, that we need to have faith. Like I told you guys over and over, he's not going to win. He's not going to win. Oh, but Linda, such and such psychic said, nope, he's not going to win. But even though the Arizona came back and said, oh, Biden won, and by the way, he won by more, and Trump lost votes. Now it's like they're, but let me tell you, the ones in the front are poo-pooing it. It's the ones, God forbid something happens to this president. They would be mass Harry Carey. They would go with him. I'm telling you, it's that kind of an energy, but there's not enough of them. There's not enough of them. There's not enough of them to take over. Yeah, we're drawing a line right now, but guess who wins? The ones who are not being cray-cray. The ones, and again, I've told you guys this, and some of you got mad at me, but we get in that hate for the cray-crays over there because they're causing such distress and awful and the terrible things they say about our Biden. But you got to stand down. Look at Biden. He ignores them. Whatever. And here's the other thing. Biden is not caring the least bit about his numbers, which are going up. And he's not caring the least bit about winning or running again. So he's doing what he needs to do. And he is the New Deal. Remember when Franklin D Roosevelt came to me on numerous occasions, before Biden got in there even, and he kept saying the next president's going to do the New Deal. That is going to happen. I can guarantee you. Okay. So all this rigmarole and stuff going on, don't worry, because come the 2022 elections, I even asked my pendulum just to double check before I came on here. I see us taking the Senate by a good amount of people, and I see us keeping Congress and maybe even a couple more. Okay. So I don't want you to worry about it. Just like he says, just like our dear former president's words before he had a massive stroke and then died. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. It's the only limit. So as who I love very much, Rachel Maddow, starts talking this trash from this conservative writer, I'm like, girl, what are you doing? Don't feed the nation with this grimness. Yeah, everybody look out. Yeah, everybody be afraid. But you know what? They have no power. They're all much ado about nothing, going nowhere. What do I always call it? A nothing burger. You're going to get your cray-crays out there, but mostly it's nothing. Okay, so don't even, the news needs to stop covering them all together. But they're just like vultures. They're feeding on this negative. But guess what we have? We have light. We have light. You wish well-being even to them. Don't be like, I hope they all, there was one guy on Twitter that said, some gal wore some shirt that said, my son died of COVID, but I voted for Trump anyway. Like that was hey, yeah. And he said, sometimes it makes you just want them to all get COVID and go. And I can understand his feeling, but we can't wish that on people. Take care of your own soul. Be connected to your higher form. And know this too shall pass. I can pretty near promise it to you. Energetically, I'm feeling that feeling like I used to feel when I would tell you Trump was going to lose. It's the wording of them over there. They talk to me. They tell everybody not, because even when I hear all the, oh, yeah, he's going to run again, blah, blah, blah. It's like I can't consume it. It's like I can't taste nothing. There's nothing there. It's a nothing burger. I got to just remind you of that. Okay, so let's start answering questions. So there's a very cool comment from Ronnie. She says, wow, Liz Cheney is making the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Liz Cheney is very conservative, and I don't agree. And she's voted on the side of Trump many times. But let me tell you something, a hit that I got. With all this, now they're not going to appear, the people who were petitioned or subpoenaed to go before, we're not going to show. It's not going to work like it did before. And one of the persons standing in the forefront saying, oh, hell no, is Liz Cheney. I'm going to tell you right now, she's not a happy camper with these people. And she's going to, I actually see some jail. I see them being put in such a position, they have no other way, unless they want to sit and rot in jail. I just saw Bannon in jail too. They're going to try to act like, I'm not going to talk. No, they're going to talk. They're going to talk. And all this paperwork coming up. It's going to be beautiful, you guys. It's going to be beautiful, but don't think, because, somebody said, and I honestly agree, when the Republicans lose, they act like they're winning. When the Democrats win, they act like they're losing. It's almost like they don't have the gonads to be strong. But remember, back when we were dealing with all this stuff with Donald Trump, and none of them, they all stuck together like glue. That's the one thing they do. They stick together. No, can't get rid of them. Can't get rid of them. And I think Cheney was one of those. There wasn't enough of us to make it happen. But it's not the Republic of even Nixon, because even the Republicans turned around and told Nixon, dude, you got to go. Okay, this isn't cool. So she said that Liz Cheney, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. She really was furious about this insurrection, and she will make sure that there is accountability. Mark my words. And I see two more people really talking here. I don't know who it is. It feels so pretty to be two more women. But I see them saying boom, 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 one thing after the other. So I don't want you guys to worry. Oh, it's gonna nothing again, you know. And my guides just told me to tell you, although it seems quiet, they don't want you, like there's a plethora of information coming about the January 6th. Even FBI agents who were in on this. I mean, it's going to be Armageddon, which is really going to plummet Trump even more because he's part of this. Okay, so this is why I want you just to hold on. Don't think that we're going into a civil war. No, he can yell and scream all he wants. The truth is the truth, and that's laying there. Okay. So be confident in knowing that justice will be served. But the other thing they wanted me to tell you is Matt Gaetz too. Even though it's quiet right now, they're folding up the paperwork, which means like they're crossing their T's, dotting their I's, and they're full. I think this guy that's talking, they're using his information and they're looking up other information. You know, what's really weird is he's trying to get his family to pay people to get inside to figure out what's going on. He's going down. Okay. Carol said, I heard President Biden speak today and I was impressed with the warmth and positivity of his words. Absolutely. And Carol, remember when before we knew he was going to, because at first we thought, I don't know, when he was up there, when Kamala Harris told him off, and I thought, or Kamala Harris told him off, I thought, oh, he looks kind of weak. But remember, I need to find these videos and repost them. I said I saw a gray-haired man be the president and a dark-haired woman be the vice president. I saw gray hair. I saw the back of him. So I'm thinking maybe it was Bloomberg, but it was him. And then when he went up there and he was blubbering, I was like, oh no, he doesn't seem strong at all. It was a great disappointment. And I've been reading a lot of these books that these writers are bringing out now. I just bought another one, but Costa's book and all those guys. Anyway, the one that Trump feared the most was Biden. He feared him the most, which is understandable now. So, remember that I said that then all of a sudden, remember I told you there was a light on him? All of a sudden it's like he was walked into, you know, like a walk-in. I don't know if people believe in that. They say that's what happened to Abraham Lincoln. All of a sudden this light was on, and then he was like connected. And, you know, that's when he started talking the New Deal. That's when he started talking about the New Deal. He wants to improve our lives tremendously. And so, you know, like I said, he's not thinking about running now. I don't get anything about that, but I've seen he wants this job done. And remember I told you, and I'm wondering if maybe my guides were saying this, but they hadn't come up with that fact yet. But I feel almost like do what you can to get your foot in the door. Make these deals. And then when the 2022 election happens, you can expand it. You can add to it. He knows where he's going and how to get there. Yes, Carol, he will be able to pass his agenda. It might be, McConnell's just his, his ratings in Kentucky are so low. Everybody's saying we need to do a review of him winning. Oh, sorry, the dogs are opening my thing. We need to do we need to check out him. How did he win? Somebody's telling me it was underhanded. Okay, so the debt ceiling, which is interesting because this is to pay for the debts in the Trump, when Trump was in, and now McConnell's going to act like neener. I see Manchin actually deciding on some things that for us, that gives us the ability to just get our 51 or whatever. I see that happening. And that Cinema's going, by the way. She's going. She might be a pole dancer somewhere later on, but she's going. I see her being voted out. Okay. Yeah, one of the Democrats going to stop their infight. I know. And what happened is your progressives are all like, we want to do what the president's saying. And yes, I understand that. But let me tell you once again, and I should write to the one who's head of them, get your foot in the door, make, even though you cringe to do it, allow some adjustment. But then when we take over, we can start just boom, 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 boom. Because right now, as you know, we're asking for information everywhere. And Mr. Trump doesn't have executive privilege. It's just so wonderful. You watch, you guys, you watch. Okay, will G.W. Bush and DT have a dogfight in public since Bush is coming to Liz Cheney's rescue? He is having a fundraiser here in Texas for her. What will it look like? And will Liz prevail with Bush's help? Will Liz Cheney? I see Trump trashing Bush, but I don't see Bush addressing it. Okay. Will Liz Cheney win again? I think she will, surprisingly. I heard yes, but it was close. That's what I heard. So Martha said, will Arizona fraud, well, now that the Arizona fraud has been found to be a nothing burger, where Biden clearly defeated 45, will that get other people off of this? No, they're still going to act out. Let them act out. It's still, I'm telling you, there's more of us than there are of them, and you're going to have your red states. They're going to go cray, but it's all going to work out. Because remember, while all this is going on, your Joe Blow at home, who's thinking, yeah, they're going to come up with something. They're going to find out. Because let me tell you, let's say you're on the fence. Well, you like Biden and you got some of them checked, so you like Biden. But let's say that they came up and said, yeah, by God, even though they weren't going to tell the truth sometimes. But let's say they said, oh, yeah, Trump won. Apparently they found like 500,000 fake voting and all that. And even though you question the people doing it, you also would be going, but no, they couldn't come up with nothing. Okay. It was a nothing burger. Now, Patsy wants to know, will it be proven that Supreme Court Justice Kennedy was forced off the court? Oh, yeah, something to do with his son in Deutsche Bank, or douche bank, like I like to call it. Yeah, but there's still a couple of years to go. I think they have so much on their plate, they can't really get into that. But there is a group of committee that's working on the Supreme Court right now. That Supreme Court's going to be chopped up, you guys. When will the federal government put a stop to the ludicrous state elections? Let me ask, because you know what they really need to do? They need to arrest Trump. They need to arrest him for causing an insurrection because it's against the law. It's treason. So I don't understand why they don't. Everybody's like frightened, you know. Will they stop all these fake audits? I feel like they're going to really get something on the books, but it's not till 2022. But they're going to be able to make it so ridiculous and some sort of ability to be able to do this. Because, oh, you know how they're trying to get the attorney generals that favor Trump? I don't see them winning like they think they're going to win. Maybe a couple will win, but I don't see a lot. Attorney John Eastman laid out the coup plan for Pence to follow back in January. Pence chose differently, but Eastman is still out there peddling his own dangerous interpretation of what government can do to subvert the will of the people. What's going to happen to John Eastman? What's going to happen to John Eastman? Oh, I see trouble. I see him standing before a judge. He's sort of on the fringes, and then I see them bringing him in saying, you know what? He's going to be in trouble. I don't even think he'll be an attorney anymore. Take that to the bank. Might take 2 years, but I see him being stripped, just like all those other people, the Wilder and all those other ones. Yeah, that purple elephant, she said the governor of Texas stated he's doing a taxpayer funded audit. By the way, all that stuff that they spent on Arizona, they shipped it off to the Republican National Committee to pay. Yeah, he's going to waste his money, and it's not. Don't worry, it's going to be just like this other thing in Nutzenberger. I saw Bannon go to jail. It's terrible, you guys. Sweet darling Lulu. Yeah, the COVID is bad. I see, you know, I'm in California. Fortunately, we're going at a good rate. We're leveling off. It's getting better, but Florida and Texas just feels really sad. So, you know, it's their journey. It's just, I feel sorry for the children. But it will calm down before the end of the year. I guess enough people get sick. Johnson is going to be out of office. I see him being voted out. He's the one that went to Russia on July 4th. Johnson is going to be out of office. I don't, it feels 2 years from now. Okay, the Flynn brothers, will they be held accountable? Yeah, let me tell you, I'm feeling the people that talk trash about the United States and try to act like, you know, we didn't do the right thing and Trump really, there's going to be consequences coming up. I feel like consequences coming up. I even see something going to the Supreme Court and they say, no, you didn't have a right to do that. So it's consequences coming up. That's what I see. Don't worry, Catherine, every single one of the Republicans that are in office who helped with that January 6th thing is going to be brought to the forefront. That's, I can tell you. Holly, all of them. And did you hear, who was it? One of the Democrats said there was somebody that was actually gleeful, a Republican that was gleeful, and their mates running around about this thing happening. And we all know who that was. That was Green. Yeah, they'll definitely, Sharon, they're definitely going to get a Democrat. I can't tell who it is right now. I'll sit down and do a spread on that. I can't tell you now who it is, but I see a Democrat. FBI Director Ray seems to be no help, Marie says. Ray's going to come under big time scrutiny, and I do see Biden replace him. Sally Yates, and remember, you guys, I felt like Sally Yates was the one that was going to go in there or might take Merrick Garland's place, but I see Sally Yates getting a good, job offering with Biden. Yeah, Linda, down the road, they will have things to help people with long-term COVID. They will have some good stuff to come up down the road. They're dealing with it piece by piece. What's going to happen at the border? I know they're removing all those poor people, and that whole with the horse and stuff, that was a bad look, and Biden was furious about it. And did you see some of them were actually smiling that they enjoyed hurting these poor people? But they're removing them other places to go through them. Some of them are going back to Haiti. So okay. I know some T Sereno says it's hard to be patient with all this junk in DC. Yep. And didn't I tell you that thing they were going to have was a nothing burger? They put the fences up and we're all nervous. What did I say? Nothing. It was going to be nothing. So yeah. Now I will tell you, I didn't see the January 6th thing happening. I did see explosions and I saw little terrorist sections, but I didn't see that. I did not see that. I saw the virus before it came in August of 2019 on video. There's some things I see and some I don't, but this is going to be an interesting week this week. October is going to rock. So I'll be back again, preferably to do a live to talk to y'all. And thank you guys for submitting your questions. I'm going to be on with Mel Monday. Send me anything you need to send me and Mel. Tomorrow we're doing our Dead Famous. We already got our people. That'll be Sterling's last Dead Famous, but Sterling and I are going to do every other week like we've been doing. So Sterling and I will still do it. Because I offered, because I know he's so busy. I said, do you still want it? And he goes, yeah. So, okay. Yeah, and it will be hard to prove the FBI complicit in some of this, some of their back people, some under the table stuff, like they're destroying evidence. All right, sweetie, you guys take care. I will talk to you later. Cheers.